I put that video in there because it helps people remember, because sometimes people get it stuck. They switch them around. They think mechanical solidarity, mechanic, machines. This is a modern society, and then they think organic, like organic food, like small scale society farmed. But it's the opposite. You got to think organic organs in a body. Okay, that'll help you remember. But it's actually a key distinction because it shows the very different kinds of societies that we live in now than how our ancestors lived in, and many of us still live like this, but fewer and fewer every year. Bands. So in band societies, these are the bands, tribes, chieftains, and states. We've already been across this when we were talking about economics. Consensus decisions, persuasive power only, temporary and informal leadership, egalitarian social status, and the strongest sanction is separation from the rest of the band. There is no coercive power. So yes, someone can steal somebody's stuff and they can get away with it, but it'll never be justified. No one will ever look at that and say, "Yeah, that was a good thing." Just the same way, in the same way that we. In modern society, someone can have their property confiscated, they can be taxed, they can be put in prison, and everyone in society says, "Yeah, that was a good thing. We thought that was a good idea." That doesn't happen in bands, right? Conflicts are mediated by informal leaders. People try to work it out. There's always sanctions, that are necessary to stay in the group. So if you murder someone, then you got to pay something to the family of the person who died. But it's contingent on you remaining in the community. If you refuse to abide by those rules, then you just leave. You're gone. It's not like they can hurt you legally. Um, other people can kill you extra legally, of course, always. Uh, but no one's going to look at that and say, "Yeah, that was good." They're going to say, "Oh, that was awful." Tribes, consensus decisions, again. Persuasive power only, again. Big men and other leaders, it's a little more stable in the leadership, who mediate the conflict. They're egalitarian between the families, but there is lots of inequality within families based on gender, based on age, etc. More powerful, older tribal members of the tribe dominating usually men dominating women, older ones dominating younger ones, older brothers dominating the younger brothers, first wives dominating subsequent wives, etc. Um, Sodalities are groupings that bring people together across village lines through common concerns, age, or interests. Rites of passage may bring lots of similarly aged children from several villages throughout the tribe to be initiated into this secret society that all men or all women belong to. So these are ways, sort of like a fraternity cuts across lines. Chiefdoms. Formal position of chief belongs to the members of the most powerful family. So there will be one clan is elevated above the others. This is the chiefly clan, but all the others are pretty much equal. Sometimes you have slaves as well in some of these chiefdoms, who are sort of a third level of society. But it's nothing like a state with lots and lots of different classes. The chief has no coercive power, but he does have economic power because he consolidates wealth and redistributes it. So there's something like taxation going on in chiefdoms, in many chiefdoms, that gives the chief quite a bit of more persuasive power than tribal chiefs. Colonial and other state contact transforms internal political organization of bands and tribes. Very often, bands become tribes become chiefdoms, and chiefdoms become states within the context of contact from, conquest by, and trade with powerful states. This point cannot be overemphasized. You will probably go and you'll hear another story from another anthropologist who says, "Oh yeah, the Yanomamo, they were hitting each other over the head and killing each other." And you'll see this movie called The Axe Fight, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, these are hunter-gatherers." They're not hunter-gatherers, and if they are hunter-gatherers, where do they get the axe from? So they'll say, "Oh yeah, primitive man, violent and all the rest." But when you actually look at them, you say, where did that violence come from? And if it wasn't from the European colonial invaders, it was from the Aztecs or the Incas, who were, functionally speaking, equivalent in terms of being a coercive, expansionist, violent, militaristic state. Okay, um, just because the state wasn't, the Spanish Empire or the King of Portugal, doesn't mean that it didn't have the same effect. But once you come into contact with those states, then that transforms the social relations, because you're sitting there, you're an autonomous collective with no formal positions of leadership, and someone comes up and says, "Take me to your leader," you're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, we don't have a leader," right? We're just weak and disorganized. No, you're going to say, "Of course, the boss is right over there." And he's going to be the biggest, strongest looking one. And he's going to say, "Yes, I am the boss." Even though he's not a boss, right? They have no boss. But he's going to say, "Yes, I'm the boss and we're very powerful," because they're afraid because they're under attack from this expansionist, militaristic state that has appeared so suddenly in the next valley over. And this is what happens, and this is how societies transform in relation to threats, external threats. This point cannot be overemphasized. We cannot talk about this enough. We have to maintain a very dynamic, um, um, dialectical, thing. The the goal should not be on settled status and settled forms. It should be on the relations between the extremely unsettled and changing forms that are going on all the time with regard to political development and organization. States. So the states are the largest populations. They're usually heterogeneous, all different kinds of people in there. There's a formalized central government with coercive power over the citizens through the police and the courts. It maintains external relations with other states through the army, invading them, through membership in the UN, etc. The state levies taxes and the state redistributes money. Basically, it provides for the maintenance of private property and authorizes money relations. That's what states do. States secure private property. Sorry. So prior to the state, there is no private property. There's only public property. Everything is owned. We know this from economics. I'm just sort of reiterating it. Sorry. So, social inequality, social stratification is taking place here. We have the ranking of members of society into a hierarchy with differential access to resources. So we have rich and poor. We have more powerful and more powerless. There's social mobility. There's ability to move upward and downward within the system. Um, There's two different kinds of stratification here. Class stratification and caste stratification. So within class stratification, there's more movement up and down because it's based on your labor value, and your labor value changes over the course of your life. If you get more education, if you get more knowledge and skills, if you get more prestige, you can command a higher income and achieve a higher class. Intermarriage is possible between members of different classes. Usually people can marry up. If you come from a poor family but you've made a lot of money, you can marry someone from the aristocracy sometimes, and then your children are aristocrats. So this is called achieved status. It's based on a person's actions. It can be changed over the course of one's life. You can succeed at it or you can fail at it. Now, we all have both achieved and ascribed status. All of us do. In all societies, there are achieved statuses and ascribed statuses. But in class society, such as we have in the United States, the emphasis is more on achieved, even though we still have plenty of ascribed status. Ascribed statuses you just get by virtue of birth. So are you someone's parent? No. So that's an achieved status. If you are not yet someone's parent, or you have never been someone's parent, you may never be someone's parent. You may, that's something that is achieved over the course of a lifetime. Are you someone's child? Of course, right? Someone had to give birth to you because, that's how babies are made. And so you have that ascribed status as the child of someone that just comes about automatically from being a human being. Caste stratification. Class stratification is based on achieved status. Caste stratification is based on ascribed status, what you get when you're born. For example, India, we have Indian castes can't intermarry, right? If you're from one caste, you marry someone from the same caste. If you're from a lower caste, you marry someone from the lower caste. The only way out of that is to leave your religion, become a Buddhist or a Christian or a Muslim, and plenty of people do that, especially from the lower caste, because it's no fun. Another example might be America during slavery times, right? When you're born, if you're born a slave, it's very likely you'll remain a slave your entire life. Very, very unlikely for you to ever achieve freedom. So we can say that is ascribed status. It's written or fixed on you at birth, and it cannot be changed over the course of your life. Intermarriage is not. We know this is the case because intermarriage was not possible between blacks and whites in Virginia up until 75, something like that. Loving v. Virginia. overturned that law in Virginia that banned interracial marriage. Okay, so in the United States, is status gendered? Is masculinity achieved and femininity ascribed? And I want you to watch the next video and then come back and we'll talk about this, or I'll talk about it. I'm not embedding videos because that's just too painful to get through this time here.